Hey guys, it's Ellen here, and it's Floral Friday, and we're playing with some wild and crazy flowers. This is a watercolor practice to make some wildflowers, just kind of wild. There's no particular traceable or anything you need. You're just tapping paint in, splattering paint, taking the brush, making some tap marks, and it comes and creates this really kind of wild effect. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section. Please don't forget to hit the bell notification button to know when my tutorial is up. And also check out my Patreon right here. I have exclusive tutorials on Thursdays, traceables that go with my YouTube, and ad-free videos. It's a place people go and support my channel, which I appreciate so much. So without further ado, let's get painting. Alright guys, for this exercise I'll go over my supplies. I have a piece of Arch 100% cotton cold pressed paper. This is like a 7 by 10 inch piece. I basically took my 10 by 14 pad and just teared it in half. My paints in here. I'm going to play with like all the paints in my palette. There's ultramarine, there's Verdier blue, peacock, Prussian, burnt umber. I don't know if I use yellow ochre. Cadmium yellow deep. I might use the brilliant orange. And the quinachradone magenta. My brushes, I'll be playing with Princeton 8 and 4 long round and the Grumbacher. I have water jar and paper towel. And this is just another watercolor practice for you guys to do. To try, just, you know, when you can't really see in the camera, but I'm kind of standing up, so it helps you to get really loose. So if you stand up over your paper, it might help you a bit. I'm just putting on this cardboard so you can see the paper better. Otherwise, it's white on white. It's kind of a little difficult. Anyway, so we're just going to get some water on our brushes and have fun. So I'm going to grab some water on my paper, right here on my brush. You can't see it because I can't see everything. Maybe if I pull it up so you can see it. I might just start by putting some water down, just some splotches where I think I'm going to want to just, so I just put like a splotch here and I put like a little stream going down and a splotch here. And you can kind of see it if you step back, how it's shiny. And then I can just go in and add some color. I've got some ultramarine here. I'll mix it with some, clean up my brush here, magenta. Makes a nice purple. Woo! That purple. Pretty intense, huh? Just play around with purple. So I'm cleaning off my brush and moving the paint around. Just going to throw some purple in here. Woohoo! Let me go back and add some ultramarine. So it's pretty wet on wet. I don't know if I want to keep it this wet, but we're just kind of playing with just dropping in color. At the same time, I'm going to mix up some greens. I have some cadmium yellow deep, and I'll grab that ultramarine and see how that comes out. Not as pretty as, because ultramarine can be great for purples, bright blues, but I would mix the peacock blue with the yellow to get a really pretty green. See, and now so you can see where that other line was. Just gonna go down here. I'm gonna use my finger as a guide when you're standing. Just kind of like, woohoo. Just put some bloom coming down here. Some like falling, cascading greenery. Just like that. And I'm going to clean up my brush. I'm going to add more yellow. And just take this brush. This is the Grumbacher 10. I'm just going to do these little doodads. See the little leaves? Just pushing down the brush. We're just practicing, guys. We're just having fun. So my idea was to have I have a bunch of these. I think I did a tutorial a while ago of cascading flowers. I did a lot of these in my Instagram. People really like them. I'm just showing you what I just playing around with more cascading flowers. And it doesn't have to be all green doing the greenery coming down. You could take blues. Got that Verdier blue. Pretty blues. Who says it has to be green? Might add a little ultramarine to that. Same kind of premise. See, just making little doodads. Grab some water. See, if you hear me clanking, that's me grabbing water. I just grab some water and just kind of like tapping it next to the little doodads that I made. See that? And grab that purple, kind of bleed that over there. This just, it's like a wildflower that's just gone wild. See him grabbing some of this blue. Play around with your colors, guys. Just gonna add some of that blue next to these little greens. I'm just getting a feel for what I want to do with this painting. I might keep it all in the blue purple tones. I don't know. I'm gonna grab some more of this blue ultramarine. Just kind of dab it. So it's still wet. You see how those little dots were still wet? I can go back in here. Really liking the blue, huh? I like to paint live. Sometimes I do come up with ideas ahead of time, but sometimes I just like to go for it. And I think you guys should do the same. This is my little pep talk on a Friday. Here I'm going to add some water again, just like I did before here. And I might do magenta this time. Yeah, I'm liking that. And then you can put some magenta down in here. Right? Just look like these little balls of flowers mixed in. Isn't that pretty? All right, like I like it like that right now. Clean up your brush. I love the magenta with this chartreusey kind of green. Just gonna add some of that. You can add some actual leaves. I'm still using the Grumbacher. Don't be afraid to make like actual leaves. See, I'll do like another one here. And I'll put some real leaves. I'm just pushing the brush down, connecting it. Or you can grab, I have this number 4. It's like a delicate little tiny brush. You know, do some really delicate little teeny ones, mix in some big ones. So this one's a real contrived. You're really just creating the leaf like we normally do, but upside down. If that's a problem for you doing upside down, you can always just flip the paper. But you can go in and make the real tiny little leaves the old-fashioned way. Or you can do the little blops the way I do it sometimes. Blops is what I call it. And it's just simple. Now at this point, you can keep going. I'm grabbing my Princeton 8 long round. Gonna have a little more green. See, I'm just kind of tapping. Woohoo! It looks like it's fallen leaves, you know. Grab some of that blue. Ooh, it made a little gray. I don't know if I like the gray. So I'm going to remove some of this green now because I want to work with some yellows. Remember, they're like wildflowers. Yellows and oranges. So let's put some yellow. Put some yellow in here. Just like that. See? Ooh, cascading yellow. You can even put like a yellow actual flower, like a daisy, kind of like a sunflower. See that? You usually choose this brush. Just push down, pull back up, and you've got those pointy little leaves. Excuse me, petals. Leaves and petals, letters and leaves. Push down. Just creates those. So we're working this baby here. At the same time, I grab some of this orange. I have brilliant orange. I go in and just bleed some of that. Boom! Right into that yellow. Look at that. Don't be afraid to play. Grab some yellow again. It's a little bit of water, not too much. And you can make the petals. See, it's the curve and connect. There's a lot of water in there. So if I go to throw some orange in there, it's going to really bleed like that one. I might not necessarily want all that to bleed. A little bit. So that's when you grab a concentrated, hardly any water in that orange, and you kind of tap it right here. So it bleeds a little bit, not a lot. Just like the same thing here. A little bit on the bottom. It just pops that yellow out even more, doesn't it? All right, up in here we can add some more greenery. I'm gonna grab the yellow and my peacock. The peacock and the yellow making pretty green. The yellow and the, you'll play around. The yellow and Prussian blue make a dark green, so you can add some Prussian blue. Makes it darker. And we're just gonna make some big old chunky leaves. So you kind of wiggle it, put the brush down and wiggle it, kind of connect it, chunky leaf. The same thing here, chunky leaf. So they're cascading, but there's some big chunky leaves on top. I'm adding some more Prussian blue. I might grab some of my burnt umber brown, more blue, put that in the green. Just play around with that. You know, you're gonna add some dark green again. And here. Wiggle, wiggle, connect it. You get those dark green leaves. Have some kind of wiggling down here. You want some darks and some lights. Just, it was good to stand up so you can kind of look back and see where you need it. See, I'll add some, just a little dark leaf in here. It's coming together. I'll throw another one up here. And then you can add some more of that bright green again. And you can still add some of this dark kind of coming down here. Wiggle it, kind of like shake it. See how I did that? This is just practice playing with your paints and your colors. Just did that little wiggle vine. So now I'm going to grab some more of this light green. Just kind of wiggle it inside here. See how I'm just wiggling it to make leaves? Can add a little bit down here. Wiggle. This is the Princeton number 8 long round. Just wiggling it. Make some leaves up here. So we get this kind of cascading effect. Gonna add some more leaves. Just like we did before. You know, you can just make like a simple leaf. It's just wham, wham. I leave a little white space. And while it's still wet, you can go and just like bleed in some of this Prussian blue in here. All right, I'm gonna add some more lines up here. A little more yellow. Just playing around and adding some more greens. I'm going to add some more flowers in a bit. I'm kind of liking how it's coming out. I might want to have some come on the edge actually. So I might have some pull this down and have some coming like way up here. So you just wiggle that green. Go and add some Prussian blue. I definitely wanted it to come off the page. I didn't want it to be all like here and then coming down. I wanted to have like this. When you're doing composition, you want some variety. So I can do the same thing here on the bottom, coming off the page. Maybe some leaves just kind of like falling, you know. It makes it more interesting. You could just leave it grouped like that, but I'm not. So I'm going to clean up my brush, go back to my Grumbacher. Where are you? I like these purples and blues. I might grab some more of that. Just adding a little magenta. Got that purple. Just kind of add that, making a roundish kind of flower. See that? Up in here. And I'll do the same thing over here. We'll add a little more dark magenta in that one. See, they're just not really particular flowers, it's just the shapes. See how interesting that is? It's kind of going off the page. You can go back into this area. I'll add a little center. And some more cascading blooms down here. Don't be afraid to do all that. I'm going to clean up my brush and grab some more of the magenta. Kind of lost its fun over here. So let's grab some pinks. Trying to film in a home studio when everybody's around is very difficult. Okay, I'm going back into this pink because I felt like it lost its pink. See that? Now, at this point, I might just clean up my brush and grab some water and just kind of like push the paint around here and here, a little bit here. You know, and then get that soft edges. Then you can go back and add some greens. Just playing around with color and flowers. You see that? Kind of fun, right? And maybe I'll have some kind of blue thing coming out here off the edges on this one. It doesn't have to be any particular kind of way. I'm just going to play, adding some green, adding a little bit of yellow. I kind of like the loose feel of it. I actually might take some clean water, just kind of go across near these guys. Oops, it wasn't that clean, it had yellow in there. Just kind of bleeding out. If it didn't, you kind of do that when it's wet. So like, I had just did one of these. Hold on, I'm gonna show you. Green. See if I could get some green here. Some dark green. Right, I did some like little leaves right here. And then I'll clean up my brush and put some water on my brush. Just kind of dabble the water next to it. See that? And you get that really kind of loose look. Yep, all the funs. And now I just feel like it's missing something up in this corner. So I will go and add some greenery, some blue. Kind of like add that cascading part up in here. Just adding some blue, Prussian blue. And I'll take some greens. Again, I'll clean up my brush and I'll do that blending thing again. I'm just going to grab water, kind of push it around. And I'll remove it if I don't like some of the areas. Just kind of dabble down here, and I'll go back and add some concentrated green color. There. Now I feel like it's kind of like going off the page in different directions, which I like. I wanted it to be wild and crazy, and I created it. Now this I'm not loving so much. I might take my paper towel and remove some of the crazy. And then go back and add some flowers. So make the purple. And add some magenta. See, just playing, guys. You're moving the paper around, you're playing, adding some more color. I'm just kind of tapping the color. This is not just grabbing the magenta that's kind of wet and throwing it in there. And of course, I feel like we're missing some yellow. So I'm going to put some yellow up here. There was no particular type of petal or leaf. I just kind of threw the color up there. I'm really loving how this kind of came out. I think that's good. I don't know. What do you guys think? You can take your smaller brush and start playing with just like little details on the sides over here. You can add an outline leaves. Maybe go back in and add some real delicate leaves or petals or leaves. all that stuff. You know, play around with it. But we really want just this loose kind of floral. Go back in and add some dark color in here. Get that dark blue. Just where I feel like, you know, maybe it's missing something. Maybe, maybe not. More yellow green. Almost where it's like so yellow. Really concentrated. Just playing around with the yellow. I did like do like the daisies there. If I wanted to add more, because it maybe feels like it's alone in the path. Get my smaller brush. Add some orange. It's getting really green. Can add a few more of these daisies. They don't feel like they're alone in the pack. Put some up here. Grab that orange. Just play around with it, guys, adding all the colors. See that? Can add some orange up in here. And that's that. I mean, that's all I'm going to do right for now for this tutorial. You guys can add in whatever you feel like. You can add like a little doodad swirl. Isn't that cute? Again, just play. I want you guys to play and practice. The more you play and practice with the water and the colors, the better you'll get at, you know, deciphering what colors you gravitate towards, what patterns you like. Adding some darker magenta. Trying to formulate a darker part of that flower. Yeah. But I'm really kind of just digging what looseness of it all. And that's that. So I hope that was fun. Yeah, see now, it doesn't look organic right here, does it? So you pull that away. I might have to do something wild and crazy. Just add some stuff right over here on the edge. Just felt like it was a straight line, and I didn't want that. I want it to feel like wild and crazy. I'll go add some blue. So now it's kind of gotten rid of that straight line. In hindsight, I probably wouldn't have done this. But hey, you know what? Sometimes mistakes happen. Gonna add some color over here just to kind of balance that. And you know, don't be afraid to splatter. I mean, come on, we can have fun with this. Do some of that fun stuff. This is an exercise in having fun. So thanks guys for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Go wild, go crazy, throw in color, throw some lines down, just top plapping some color, and you'd be surprised what you come up with. You might really love it. If you want to stick to just blue colors, cool colors, or hot colors, do that too. Play around with it. So take care guys. Have a great weekend. I'll speak to you soon.